Not seeing my videos in your subscription feed? Make sure you've clicked the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of all my newest uploads. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and let's talk about the Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday Director's Cut petition that has been making the rounds on social media for about the past week now. A lot of big horror websites have been writing about it and have been circulating it, trying to send people over to change.org to get them to sign this petition. And I've actually got the petition pulled up in front of me. I will read it to you. It reads as follows. Jason Goes to Hell, definitive director's cut, started by Jared Johnson. Jared Johnson and Brandon Scott Murphy are asking for everyone's help to bring attention to having Jason Goes to Hell made in a true director's cut. Adam Marcus, director and co-writer of Jason Goes to Hell, has expressed interest in this being made. Many scenes were cut and unused during filming, including key special effects scenes showcasing the incredible work of K&B Effects. Sadly, they never made it in the final cut. These scenes are strong contributions to this film, and best of all, they were shot. The footage exists. In fact, many scenes were edited properly, nearly fully finished before being cut, and now we hope to have them cut back into a definitive Jason Goes to Hell, uncut director's cut the way Adam Marcus originally intended. We ask that you sign this petition in hopes we can bring up a company to work out this project and bring it to light. Please sign and help us get the attention that Jason Goes to Hell deserves. The petition will be delivered to Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Scream Factory. However, there was an update that Shout Factory cannot sublicense this film, so this won't be going straight to Warner Brothers. As of right now, there are 1,047 signees to this petition. Now, I've signed the petition, and I would love to see a director's cut Blu-ray release of Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. Now, I've talked about Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday on this channel. I did a review of it. I'll put a link to that review in the description. It was the very first Friday the 13th movie I saw in theaters. I'm sure you guys have heard the story. I've told it on this channel. I've told it over on the Sausage Factory. I went with a church youth group to watch Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. Seriously. After Sunday night service, we all loaded up into the van of one of the youth kids' mothers. We drove to the theater, and all the boys went and watched Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. And it was a great time. It is, to this day, one of my favorite movie-going experiences. Everybody in the theater was having an absolute blast. I kind of imagined that that's kind of like what it was in a grindhouse theater in the 70s, minus, people shooting up in the corner and going to the bathroom in the corner and having sex in the corner and God knows what else. But we were all raucous and we were all talking. We were all throwing popcorn and having a good time. And it was awesome. It was awesome. And at the end of the movie, when Freddy's glove comes up out of the earth and drags Jason's hockey mask down into hell, we all it was uproarious. Everybody just kind of came unglued. And after the movie, driving home, we all just talked about it. And it was a great, great experience. So I've got a soft spot for Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. I like the movie for what it is. And I also kind of like the movie for what it wanted to be. It didn't quite succeed at being, but what it wanted to be. It's a really unique film, I think. It has its problems. It has its fair share of problems. There were reportedly a lot of production issues while making that film. Director, co-writer Adam Marcus butted heads with Sean S. Cunningham, the producer, over certain creative things. There was a rumor that Sean Cunningham had ghost-directed part of the movie. Don't know if that's true or not, but there were production problems. There was a lot of stuff shot that just didn't make it into the theatrical version of the film. Now, on VHS and DVD, we got an unrated release of Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. And I've always considered this release to kind of be the ultimate, the definitive Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday release. And again, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade here. I'm hopeful that we'll get this release. I signed the petition myself, but the realist in me just goes, you know, fans of this series, we've already had the disappointment of Friday the 13th, 2017 being axed by Paramount. I hate to see people get their hopes up just for them to be dashed yet again. Because, let's face it, Warner Brothers and Paramount do not care about this series. And they definitely don't care about Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Case in point. Here is the Blu-ray box set that was released a few years ago. It is a Paramount and Warner Brothers co-release. On this set, we get Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday on Blu-ray. Great. But it's the theatrical version. The unrated version has been available since VHS. It's been the definitive version for years and years and years and years. However, in physical form on this Blu-ray set, we only get the theatrical version. However, if you use the digital code in here, you can get the unrated version. So, they don't care. They certainly didn't care about adding the director's or the unedited version of Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday onto this Blu-ray set. So why would they create a standalone Blu-ray director's cut for Jason Goes to Hell, which is not the most fan-beloved movie in the series, and definitely not the highest-grossing movie in that series. Also, and this is another piece of evidence as to how Warner Brothers and Paramount just simply don't care. You know, when I think of Friday the 13th, I think of Jason. I think of Pamela Voorhees. I think of one of Jason's many outstanding kills from that series. So when I opened up this set for the first time, I expected to see Jason, Pamela Voorhees, you know, the sleeping bag kill, Jason's head sliding down the machete from part 4, you name it. When Paramount and Warner Brothers think of Friday the 13th, the very first thing they think of is Willa Ford from the remake. I needn't say more. Also keep in mind, many, many years ago, John Carl Buechler, the director of Friday the 13th Part 7, had a very similar petition floating around online to get Paramount to release a director's cut of Friday the 13th Part 7. John Carl Buechler had all the footage that was cut from the movie. He was going to edit it back together and bring us a definitive director's cut of Friday the 13th Part 7. I signed that petition many years ago. I don't remember off the top of my head how many signatures it had. I'm guessing in the thousands. John Carl Buechler hand-delivered the petition to Paramount execs, and it was summarily ignored. Now, the only sliver, the faintest, tiniest sliver of hope I think we have is, you know, maybe, since we're not going to get anything Friday the 13th related this year, at least a film. And keep in mind, you know, I know a lot of people have their hearts set on the Friday the 13th video game, but that keeps getting postponed as well. I'm not sure what's up with that video game. I'm not sure if the legal dispute between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham has anything to do with the video game being postponed and postponed and postponed. But maybe, just maybe, the tiniest little sliver of hope that we have here is that Paramount or Warner Brothers or both of them you know, maybe they'll go, well, look, let's at least do something. And let's let's release something that we could possibly make a profit from. So if enough people do sign this petition and they look at it and go, okay, 5,000 people have signed this thing. If we release some sort of maybe limited edition Blu-ray director's cut of the movie, and we price it at $25, $30, 5,000 people have signed the petition. If half of them actually buy the thing, you know, we can make at least some profit. I don't know. I mean, that's a long shot. That's a really long shot. Again, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade here. I'm just trying to keep it real. I just, Paramount and Warner Brothers simply don't care. They just don't care. If they really cared, if Paramount really cared, we would have got a Friday the 13th movie sometime, at least one within this 5-year window that they had to make one. But that didn't happen. I just think their track records with this series kind of speak loud and clear for themselves. So I don't want anybody out there to get their hopes up too high. I know there's been that huge disappointment that Friday the 13th, 2017 is not going to happen. There's the hope for the video game. It keeps getting postponed. As a fan, albeit a fairly jaded fan, I think, as I am today, the realist in me just kind of goes, I'd be nice, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Please, Warner Brothers, Paramount, prove me wrong. I would love for you to prove me wrong. Give us a Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday director's cut Blu-ray release. I'd love it. I'd be the first one to buy it. But I do not see it happening. Just don't see it happening. Let me know your thoughts on this petition. Do you want to see a director's cut of Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday released? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you hopeful for it? Are you have you become a jaded Friday the 13th fan as I have? Let me know down in the comments section below. Just let me know your thoughts on Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday, period, down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.